you've embarked, even when these memories must still be really very painful and so recent, you've embarked on the most extraordinary sort of course of fundraising, because it must have mattered to you so much. Just talk us through what you're doing and what your intention is.
So we wanted to raise money to, I don't know if the original target was 1 or 2, but to raise money to, we knew that these cots weren't available in every maternity ward around the country, and it's not just maternity wards, it's hospices, it's funeral homes, there's a wide spectrum, I suppose, of where these cots need to be. So I needed to do something that was relatively extraordinary. So I couldn't just go for walks or do what I normally do. It had to be quite extra. So we announced it on New Year's Day. So Lola's funeral was the 30th of December. And then we dealt with that, had New Year's, and then we announced it all on New Year's Day. And then we found a half marathon on the 4th of January. So I had 3 days to prepare. And then we done the first one and I struggled. And I probably could have given it all up, but the donations just come in too fast and it was too late to back out.
You were in it already.
Yeah, but no, it's good. They're getting better. They're not getting any easier, but the pain lasts for a shorter period of time.
So what's the plan? Talk us through it.
The plan is just to keep running, I suppose.
But this is a half marathon
a half marathon every single month for the whole of 2026. But like self-discipline wise, so I done my March one at the start of March and I couldn't find one until the end of April. So I had to slip another one in the middle to make sure I was maintaining it. So yeah, we're up to 13 for the year now, but we'll try and squeeze in as many as we can.
So you're sort of scanning the horizon for who's holding one next that you can apply for a place in.
Yeah, which is weird because if you told me a year ago I'd be looking at half marathons on my phone waiting for cities to announce them, I'd have laughed at you. But this is me now, I suppose. It's good for fundraising, but it's also good for me to get out and run, try and do 20k a week. And that's usually one big one on a weekend and maybe 2 short ones either before and after work. But it does really help. I know it's a bit of a cliche that if your mental health is down, go and do some exercise. I've never really been one for gym. I've always I'd rather be at home. I don't want to finish work at 6 and go to the gym for 2 hours and then miss seeing Tilly and then do it again the next day. So I've never really been one to go to the gym, but I can leave my house, go for a half-hour run and be back in half an hour.
Perhaps you could explain what difference that running makes, because I suppose running, as opposed to a lot of other things you can be doing, it does give you some headspace, doesn't it? It gives you look at a horizon. It's sort of
it's an escape, really. So my usual life would be to do family stuff, which was lovely. But on the weekends, I'd be socialising with friends, you'd be drinking, or if you're not out, you'd be sitting on the sofa, just scrolling. There's just too much time for your brain to overthink. Whereas now, I've got something to think about. If it's not running, it's fundraising. If it's not fundraising, it's reaching out to businesses and stuff to assist with that fundraising. So I'm constantly engaged. And obviously there's family and work as well. So there's just a lot of my brain that's empty that I need to occupy. And I think that the fundraising's doing that.
Why support Abigail's Footsteps? What did they give to all of you?
So they've just given us memories and closure, just things to remember, things to talk about, stories to tell. There's pictures all over the mantelpiece of Lola's hands and feet, and we wouldn't have had any of that. And there'll be castings there soon when they come back from the casting woman. And again, we wouldn't have had any of that. It would have just been a name and maybe a photo. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there that just have a name and a photo and not much of a story, which is really sad. So I'm glad we got the opportunity to have a bit more.
And to offer another family who find themselves in that situation the opportunities that you had to with that time.
That's all we want to do, really. So we just want to make sure that as many families as possible have the opportunities that we had when Lola was born.
And in her memory.
Yeah.
Doing it for her. And Tilly and Jodie.
And me.
And you.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. Thank you for sharing your story, Chat. Thank you.